Sorry, how to play. The object of the game is to be the first player to get all 4 of your pawns from your start to your home. Lay out the board, and each player picks a color and places those pawns on their matching colored start space. Shuffle the cards and place them on the board as a draw deck. The youngest player goes first, then play proceeds clockwise. On your turn, discard 1 card from the top of the draw deck to the discard pile and do what it says. Then your turn ends and the next player goes. If the draw deck runs out of cards, then shuffle the discard into a new draw deck. You may only move a pawn out of your start space with a 1, 2, or sorry card. Pawns move from the start space down, then clockwise around the outside track, traveling up into the safety zone of their matching color towards their home space. Pawns jump over any other pawn in its way, counting that space. If you land on the same space as another player's pawn, then bump that pawn back to its owner's start space. Other than the start and home spaces, pawns of the same color may not share a space. If your only available move is to land on a space already occupied by one of your own pawns, then you do not move. Anytime you are unable to move, your turn ends and the next player goes. If you have a legal move, then you must move, even if you don't want to. Anytime you land by exact count on the triangle at the beginning of a slide that contains your color, then slide ahead to the end and bump any pawns in your way, including your own, back to their start spaces. If you land in the middle of a slide or on a triangle for a slide that doesn't include your color, then you do not slide. Only pawns of the matching color can enter a safety zone. You are not allowed to move into a safety zone by a backwards move, though you are allowed to move out of a safety zone from a backwards move. You are not allowed to move your pawn past the entrance of your own safety zone when moving forward around the board. You must move all your pawns to your home space by exact count. Once a pawn reaches home, that pawn may no longer move. All the cards say what they do, but some additional clarification is needed as follows. 7. If you split your move to get a pawn home, you must be able to use the remaining balance on another pawn, otherwise you may not perform the move. You may not use a 7 to get a pawn out of start. 11. If you are unable to move forward 11 spaces and you do not want to change places with another player's pawn, then you do not need to trade places and instead forfeit your turn. You can only switch pawns in the outer track. You may not switch those in start, home, or a safety zone. If you switch with a pawn on a slide containing your color, immediately perform the slide. Sorry. If there is no pawn on your start, or no opponent's pawn on any legal space you can move to, then you forfeit your turn. The first player to get all 4 of their pawns to their home wins.